Hey everyone, today I am continuing my deep dive into the 12 color season analysis. Each month I go through one color season and I try it out on myself, see if these colors actually work for only specific people or if you can make all of the colors work. Today I am doing Bright Spring, so keep on watching if you want to see how I achieved today's look. I don't know if my camera saved the video that I just did, but I just did my base. I started with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched base. This one, it just provides like a nice lit from within type of glow. And then I just went in with a layer of the Covergirl Clean Invisible. This is the shade 120 Creamy Natural. And then for concealer, I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Concealer in the shade light to medium. And this one is very brightening. I don't feel like it adds much coverage. Like, it's high coverage, but it's a serum and it's far too light for me. So it really is more of like brightening. And I'm going to blend it out with a sponge as well. I like to blend out my under eyes last. That way I can get a little bit more coverage there. And then whatever is left over, I'm bringing to the top of my lid. For blush, I want to go a little bolder, a bit more punchy today. So I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Blush Filter in Peach Sorbet. And this one is so beautiful. I love how these look on the skin. So I'm gonna go for more of like a higher, very bright and lifted. And like I said, I want this to be kind of punchy, so I'm gonna see how much I can build it up. And I feel like because of the placement of this, we can skip bronzer altogether. Though if you do really want to add some bronzer, I would look for something that isn't too warm toned. Bright Spring isn't super glowy, but it loves light. So I'm going to be using my Hourglass powder, the highlighter. And I love it because it's very sheer and just like no chunky glitters. And I'm just going to do just a little bit on my high points. This also has been one of my go-to products for these very warm toned looks. Now we can move on to the eyes, and these I kind of want warm and soft. So I'm going to start with using a brown eyeliner. This is the Huda Beauty Creamy Kohl liner in Very Brown. And I'm just going to create a very soft wing just to add some definition to the eyes. So next, I really want to enhance that definition that I'm creating with the eye, but also kind of keep it very monochromatic. So I'm using my Colourpop Lush Life palette in the shade Guava, and kind of just a medium-sized fluffy brush. I'm going to work that into the crease. I'm okay with being a little messy with it. And I know it looks kind of messy now, but I swear I'm going to go back and clean it up. But I'm going to first start by deepening up the outer crease. So in that same palette, I'm going to be using Noni, which is kind of like this ketchup, almost tomato red. Though I think it's going to layer a little differently with the colors I have going on. And then whatever is left over, blending into the crease. So before I go in with a glitter, I want to really kind of diffuse these edges. They're looking a little too messy. My trick to doing that is taking some type of powder. I usually go towards translucent, but because we're working with these red peaches, I'm using a pink one today. And this is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. And then I'm just going to take a fluffy, somewhat cleanish brush, and I'm just going to work that into the edges. And just tapping off the excess in the palm of my hand. Because I'm not trying to add pigment, I just want to make sure that it's cohesively blended. And then the last shade from that same palette that I'll be using is Wildlife, which is just this really cute champagne shimmer, and that I'm going to be placing right in the center of the lid, and maybe a little towards the inner corner. And this one has slightly of a yellowish green shimmer, but I think it's very subtle and goes well with this look anyway. Actually, I lied, and I'm going to go in with one more shimmer from that palette. This one, Hideaway, is really speaking to me. It kind of is the sister to Guava, so I think that's going to be really cute on the outer corner. That definitely made the look more cohesive. I'm just going to take a little bit of Guava on the lower lash as well. And then I'm adding some brown mascara. Today I'm using the Essence Lash Without Limits in brown. And then to finish the look for the lips, I'm actually going to be using the Huda Beauty blush again. I've never tried it on the lips. I'm assuming it's going to be a little dry, but I'm going to make it work just to really go in with that monochromatic look. However, I am going to start by lining my lips with the Colourpop lippie pencil in the shade PFF. I do like how creamy these are, but they don't last very long, so I'm hoping that maybe the dryness of the blush will help set it. We'll see. I'm just gonna put the tiniest amount on the back of my hand along with everything else I've been doing and then just kind of tap it into my lips. Okay, that is very lovely. I think I want just a little bit more, maybe a little bit more on the cheeks because I'm feeling a little washed out with it. And I feel like it's not pigmented enough. And this is the final look. I really like how it turned out. I think this kind of has been my issue lately where the eyes are just a little too warm for what I had envisioned. I was definitely leaning more into like the peachiness, like the blush and the lips, but on camera I think it kind of looks more monochromatic and blends better. Though in person it does look very red on the eyes and then the rest is very peachy. Though I do think that like greenish yellow gold glitter really helped kind of neutralize it in a way. But I really like the blush on the lips. It's actually pretty comfortable. I thought it would be drier, but it feels nice. So I'm very happy with how this look turned out. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like this, make sure to check out the rest of my color season series, as well as hitting the like and subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!